and welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games. I'm one of your hosts, the Salty One.
And I'm sweet.
And I changed it up on you. And these various assorted spices, those two down there, are our friends. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, our long-running pulp action meets eldritch horror campaign. Before we go around and meet everyone and their characters, we have our channel shoutouts. Firstly, a ton of thanks to our sponsors, starting with Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We are part of their ambassador program, which highlights indie tabletop creators all across the interwebs. It is Roll20's 10-year anniversary this month, and we have been celebrating. If you head over to Roll20, there's a 10th anniversary landing page. You can get a free adventure from Cobalt Press called Scarlet Citadel. It's super cool. Lots of fun things in there. And lots of cool deals going on. You should go check them out. Yes. Also, thanks to our sponsors, Grinding Coffee Co. and Dice Envy, if you like your shiny math rocks, if you like your soaked bean juice, you'll like these companies. We have affiliate links and discount codes that you can see in chat or in the panels down below. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed, gifted subs, followed, chatted, liked, commented on YouTube. We super appreciate it. Last week was wild. Thank you all for being here. Everyone survived. Well, everyone except Carl Sanford. But we'll talk about that later. If you would like to support us further, there are tip incentives listed down below that can seriously impact the game. Using bits or our Streamlabs tip jar, you can go down to the Affect the Game panel and click it, or you can !tip in chat. All that is laid out down below. It is always appreciated, but never expected. Last thing, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X, N, and O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters are there, while the characters may be put through hell, the players are here to have fun, and they are our priority always. So, I guess we should, talk to them. Hey, Spink, my Betty. Let's start with Kienna. No curveballs this time. Just a nice, soft pitch. There you go.
Yeah, it's just easy just catch easy, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kienna. I'm just reading the channel. My pronouns are she and they. But today I am playing Irene Blackwell. Her pronouns are she and her. Yeah, she shot a dude several times and then somehow won in a battle of wills and told him to fuck off. Which is great. We love that for us. We love to survive a terrible eldritch sorcerer who's out to kill you. So great time. We love that for us. And now we get to just go on a fun little road trip. You know?
Road trip. That's what's happening this week. That's what's happening.
Am I wrong?
I mean, you're not incorrect. Of course, as you'll notice by the void next to my face, our beloved Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, once the archetypical woman of the age of rationality and progress, now she who surrenders herself to the madness to fight the madness, is not here this week. I will be playing her. And I won't drag her the way I drag Summer, because you may not know this, Allison's my girlfriend. So I will drag her even harder. Fantastic. Let's go down to Summer.
Wow. Hi. It's me, Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing Ava Cowell. She also uses she, her pronouns, and she is vibing, you know? There's a small, tiny, little potential that her dad could be brought back from the dead, and that is not something that you encounter in day-to-day life. So she's got her hopes up, fingers crossed. And she's a little bit, she's got some telekinesis. She's got a little bit of psychic power.
Just touch.
just a little bit of telekinesis as a treat.
Mm.
And what could possibly go wrong with Lauren playing Ganymede Graves?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Great. And last but not least, it's Tommy.
Good morning. I am Tommy, an Imperator Penguin Sphere. I play Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III. We both use he, him. And Zeb got to cut the head off of a snake last week. A very terrifying, not a real snake, but a snake. A snake.
Got him.
And things were looking a little dicey. Last week, and you know,
it worked out.
Yeah, I don't think it's the closest Zeb has come to death yet. I think the lizard thing was closer.
Yes.
But equally terrifying.
Yeah. I think in the case of Sathasa, the thing was that you ran up and tackled her.
I was grappling.
Yeah. So you just like ran into her arms.
I have a sword now.
Yes.
Lightning gun.
Exactly. Now you have a sword and a lightning gun.
So I have tools to deal with.
We've all really grown together. So if you are joining us for the first time or the first time in a long time, this motley crew is still trying to stop an apocalyptic event from occurring. Their journey started when their good friend Jackson Elias was murdered for investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, the members of which were all formerly presumed dead. Since then, they've uncovered a global conspiracy involving various death cults, who all worship different aspects of the same eldritch god. Many names, many forms, but all the same end to one end. This has taken them from Peru to New York, England, Shanghai, Australia, and now to Egypt. The cults were working together to build a machine to tear open the sky, but our heroes stopped that part of the plan. But it ain't that easy. The cults in Africa are still thriving and preparing for the great ritual on January 14th, 1926, a mere 124 days from the early morning of Saturday, September 12th, 1925, 6 days before the new moon. Last episode, Ganymede and Ava researched at the Egyptian Museum. They discovered that destroying the crown of Nitocris will require either magical flame that Ganymede can provide or super intense heat, such as is produced by the Yithian lightning guns. Ganny also got some answers about the vials of amber liquid she acquired all the way back in New York. Vials like the ones Charles saw in a vision of her parents before they disappeared. Ganny brought up the possibility of resurrecting Ava's father, potentially giving Ava the means to learn how to do so herself, but Ava hesitated. Meanwhile, Zeb and Irene were getting their asses kicked by the sorcerer Carl Sanford. But with a combination of the lightning gun, Irene emptying her clip point blank, did you know that you can fire more than one shot in a round? None of us knew. 2 years, same system.
We are so good at role-playing games.
We are
pros.
Pros. And with a mighty blow by Zeb with the sword of Akmala, Carl Sanford was defeated. Yay! The pair then found drawings around this room, which used to belong to Warren Bessart, of horrifying sphinxes and of the Carlisle expedition in the midst of a ritual. And one figure, a redhead in a green dress you presume to be Hypatia Masters, was drawn as being pregnant. Pregnant. Okay, so you bunk in the makeshift quarters that Hanan has set up for you in another part of the museum. She hasn't asked you too many questions besides, are you hungry and will you be finished soon? She arrives at sunrise on Saturday with breakfast and tea. But before we get to that, I have some questions. I have just a few, just like some itty bitty questions, itty bitty ones. Starting with Zeb. So, you killed a man last night. In all these years and months, I don't think we can't recall when you've actually been the one to land the killing blow on a fellow human being. So I'm just wondering, how'd you sleep?
Mama just killed a man. Before we get DMCA'd. Not well. No, I think like I think he probably passes out quickly because I imagine at some point the adrenaline goes out and he's exhausted because he came very close to death again. He was drowning. So I think he does pass out quickly, but I think that he doesn't sleep well. I mean, this is like the first human being that stayed a human being that he killed, right? Like, he's killed some like ghoul-like creatures before. Hurt some people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's, and killed some like eldritch creatures, but I don't think, he hasn't killed a human being so far. So I don't think it's a good night of sleep for him. I imagine that like there's probably a couple things, right? Like I imagine that there's probably some nightmares about drowning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is a terrifying experience. And in and of itself. And I imagine he probably wakes up quite often in like a cold sweat. And yeah, he's definitely shaken, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is also he doesn't know how to feel about it. Because he knows that Sanford is definitely not a good guy. And these cultists and like, all the cultists that he has met so far, or people that are super into the reviving of old gods, not good people, not a good thing. But it's not as easy to straight up kill a human being. I think when he's had the choice he's opted for, let's get them arrested. So I think he's not like if this had been the beginning of the of this series, I think he would have been way more shaken. I think at this point he's seen and dealt with enough stuff that he's not like catatonic by this sort of revelation, but I think that he's just like, maybe just a slight, like a slight, if you watch him, like maybe his hands are shaking slightly, or like, but he just doesn't know how to feel about that because he doesn't necessarily want to kill people.
Yeah.
I think so I'm really that's right. But he definitely starts. Zeb is a God-fearing man.
Yeah.
He definitely starts like doing like starts saying like prayers or whatever. Like the "Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned" and stuff like that, right? Like confessions, but not to a priest right now because he's not at a church, but but yeah, I think that he's just not sure how he feels about it completely.
Irene, you were just a bit of willpower away from death last night. What won you What does she think won her that standoff? And of course, how did she sleep after?
Ooh. Carl Sanford is a man that is driven by, at least in that moment, pride and vengeance. And as much as Irene was angry at him at that time, for having not only pursued them and trapped them with a monster, and tricked them, and then tried to drown and kill Zebulon. It's just also, angry at the fact that here's this guy just in their way. Like, this is not even somebody who they should have to worry about. But yes, here he was. But I think in the end, Irene is not driven by anger, not driven by vengeance, not driven by pride. She was driven by her love and connection to her friends and to the people that are here. And that was more powerful than petty pride in that moment. Just enough to tip the cosmic scales in her favor. So when she goes to sleep, I don't think that she's too haunted by the fact that this man is dead. She has seen death. She has caused death before.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something new to her. But I think as she drifts into sleep, she has dreams where her hands don't return back to normal and they just continue to wither away, and she can no longer draw. She can no longer do the thing that fulfills her. She can no longer hold or touch or anything like that. She would no longer be able to hold a pencil again. She would never be able to hold her child again. And that keeps her asleep but restless throughout the night.
Ava,
Yes.
the means to get your father back is within your grasp, but you hesitated. How'd you sleep?
Not like terrible. I feel like Ava is one of those people where if you were watching her sleep, right, she would look like she's just having the most peaceful slumber. Like, no matter what's going on in her head, she's just like perfectly restful. But I think that, I mean, since her father died, she's been having pretty intense nightmares about what happened to him. So it's kind of like that, but shifted. There was always that feeling of, could I have like gotten in the way somehow? Like, could I have saved him? Like, could I have prevented? And it's always that moment in the dream where it's like she realizes it's about to happen right before it does, and then she like goes to reach for him and it's too late. Like he's already killed. But now it's like, I don't know, it's just like this weight of like of guilt and these feelings of, would bringing him back be right? Because I don't think she ever expected to feel that way, it's so strange because like going through time to find him before he was killed was a completely separate thing in her brain. That was him alive. That was bringing him before he had died. But bringing somebody back from the dead is a completely different concept. And she is afraid of what it would do to him, what it would mean for him. She doesn't know what happens after we die. No one does. And she is concerned about what that could mean for her father. So I imagine it's still kind of the same nightmare again and again with him dying, but there's this moment after where she's like fighting with that that feeling of bringing him back, and maybe even it's like he doesn't die instantly, right? Like it's like he's like looking at her, and she's having to kind of make this choice whether to like save him or let him go. And I feel like it's just like on a loop in her brain pretty much all night. She's just having these same kind of tormented, this moral quandary, this guilt, all of this is just kind of spinning around in her head all night long.
Good. So all of you are awoken by the door opening and kind of the gentle, clattering of plates and cups being set down. Hanan has arrived. As you're all kind of coming to consciousness, and she's setting this down. Have you found what Dr. Kafur wanted you to find?
I think so. I believe so.
Good. Will you be leaving soon?
She would kind of like, there's so much stuff in this room, right? That her and Ganymede like didn't get a chance to do. And she just says, sorry, kid's losing his shit. She just says, I think we will be leaving soon. I don't see much more of a reason for us to stay.
All right then. And Salim is with you all, by the way, and he's just kind of like mouth agape staring at her. Hanan is a very like stylish, very like 20s Egyptian woman, like pinstripe, kind of dress suit going on. And he's just kind of like gaping at her.
I ship it.
Yes. Ganny says, well, let me... There was something we wanted to ask you, Hanan. And she makes eyes at you, Ava, kind of seeing if you want to fill in the gap there.
Of this book? Oh my god. So there was this other book that we had seen but couldn't access.
Hanan says, which one? She doesn't look like she needs the answer to that question, but she asks it.
Does it have a special name?
Yes, it's Al-Azif.
Yeah, so she just be Al-Azif.
Did Dr. Kafur want you to look for something in there?
I can't imagine that anyone would ever recommend looking in that book unless it was an absolutely dire circumstance. Which it is.
Make a persuade.
I'd love to. Am I good at that? No, there's no way I am.
Hold on.
It's not terrible. It could be worse.
Could be worse.
Okay, here I go. And I'll use a reroll if I... Wait, do I have rerolls? I think I have 2.
Yeah.
Let me go look. Oh, I have 6. I have... No, that can't be right.
Yeah, we got a
Oh,
bunch,
it is.
right?
We got a shit ton. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
it
got a bunch last
is.
week.
I was like, I just used so many. Okay, so I'll use a reroll if I need to. Here we go. That's terrible. That's just as bad, basically. I am not a convincing girl.
Do you want to push it?
I was just thinking that. I was like, I could.
You would need a hard.
That. Okay.
Well, you're, yeah, okay.
Can I use a reroll on the push?
Sure.
Okay.
But
then
tell
I'll
me
go
how
for
you're
it.
pushing this. It's like she is not budging. I mean, you can tell.
I got tears in my eyes. Like, I'm like, this is a big deal. This is very personal to Ava, right? Like,
Yeah.
This isn't just like we need it for research. This is like a very, like, I think just like, she's just like picturing her father in her head, like from all of her dreams the night before. And she's like channeling all of that, like into this moment of like, listen, hold on, I'll start sobbing right here if that's what this takes. I'm going to tug on those emotional heartstrings. You can do it. I believe in you, Ava. You can do it. Fuck!
Okay.
It would be 20-something luck.
I wouldn't. I
Okay.
mean, unless
Is
you
a
really
free
want to.
resource.
I have so much luck. That's the thing. It's like,
You do.
I have tons. No, I won't. That's so much luck.
Okay, so mark off those 2 rerolls.
Yeah, I will.
I should really memorize which quote that is.
Isn't it like 114? I think it's quote 114. Nailed it.
Nice.
Yes. Incredible.
I tried.
It's our most used quote.
Yeah. Yeah. She says, perhaps once he has returned, he could assist you. I have explicit instructions from him regarding those scrolls. And though he is not here, I will not go against him in this way.
Yeah. Ava will nod, kind of like look away.
Yeah, she's not trying. She's kind of efficient. That's her vibe, but she's not unsympathetic,
Yeah.
She's not saying it callously, but she is firm.
Yeah.
If you all encounter him before I do, please tell him he has really inconvenienced me. And she turns away, but there was obvious emotion in her voice. And she walks out, leaving you to your breakfast. Irene and Zeb, you get +2 HP for the sleep. And Salim is like, who was that? Is that what librarians are like? What? Archivists? I don't really come in here. He starts eating. He's gonna like pour everybody tea and like.
Zeb's just like some of them, I suppose. I imagine when like Zeb takes the tea, and I imagine there's just like the slightest like shake to it, like. It's slightly there, but I don't think he's been particularly talkative this morning, which is not his usual MO.
As you're all kind of preparing yourselves to head out, Salim says, You know, I should probably accompany you if you're still planning on leaving. I could go get the car, pick you up from here, kind of eliminate eyes on you.
We can't ask you to do that. You know what happened to Nigel and probably Mahmood. If you associate with us, you're putting yourself in risk.
Nigel has taken care of me, Mahmood, others, over the years. If I can help you find him, and I also believe you will need my help, because at least the two of you, your Arabic is atrocious. And not so many people outside of the city speak English and French.
Well, I can't say I didn't warn you, but we'll be glad to have your help, I think.
Good.
Looks around.
I will go fetch the car then.
Double nod.
Ganymede stands up. She's been trying, I think, to catch Ava's eye. But she says, before... How does she do it? Before we go, I'm going to head to the British consulate, pass along communication to the Darien if they're still nearby. I don't know what that turned into. If they're still nearby. So...
Oh, would you like me to come with you?
No, that's all right. I'll, accompany Salim. Until we need to split off, anyway.
Okay. Well, be safe.
So, Ganny's gonna head out. The message she sends to Captain, SS Darien from Lieutenant Ganymede Graves. Wrapping up business in Cairo, heading into the desert soonest. Path beyond uncertain. Our triumph, however, remains assured. Please give my warmest personal regards to Mr. Craig and Ms. C.M. It may be some time before we can communicate again. If you are able, get word of our movements to Jack Brady in Shanghai at... insert address. Spes et nunquam mori. GG. So that's what she's off doing. What about the rest of you? How are you killing time waiting for the two of them to get back?
I would be trying to send word to the party that would potentially be transporting my father's body.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Ganymede can take that message for
okay.
you.
So I would have written basically a letter including my credentials of like who I am, and been basically asking them to hold the burial as long as possible. Until I arrive. Like, I'm gonna just say basically like I need to be there, you know, like it was my father's wishes, we have to go with it, you know, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send word to them. And then she's probably just brushing up on her Arabic, honestly. Like, I would imagine that she's just kind of like sitting, like bags neatly packed, sitting kind of like reading through just to make sure that she's like, because I mean she knows some, but she's not fantastic, right? She's like got enough to get by, but she's gonna like go through and actually be like reading as they go to travel. So she would just be vibing. Like,
is there any temptation to
go through Ganny's stuff?
No.
Oh. What? You just did that. You said Snoop. I was like, I'll go through anybody's stuff for free. Is there any temptation to what?
To not listen to what Hanan said, to try and access the book.
Oh, damn. Well, it was really hard to get in last time. She's not here right now. Are we locked in?
No, you're just in a kind of storage room that she set up for you all to be able to sleep in.
So I would have to go to
You'd have to go into the vault, and I mean, the vault itself had a combination lock that she opened, and it was warded. And then the drawer, like the unit, was warded, and it had another combination lock.
I'm sure she thinks about it.
Yeah,
I'm sure she does, but she. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, does Ava believe in signs? Probably not. Like basically like universal signs. Like, am I meant to be doing this kind of thing? I think she would definitely think about it. But just given the level of security in her mind, she's kind of already making a plan to talk to Dr. Kafour. If they do see him, like, keeping an eye out for him.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that might actually be her best bet, is talking to him. And because he's the one who, we assume, set up all of the wards in the first place. So she's kind of like thinking like, okay, well, once we get going, if we run into him, if we see him anywhere, you know, which we're assuming he was taken by the people that we're dealing with. So hopefully we will see him. Then I can talk to him directly and blah, blah, blah. Like, she's already making another plan since her first one didn't work.
Nice. What about Irene and Zeb? Killing time, chit-chatting about anything that may have happened recently, shared trauma.
I mean, Zeb's probably cleaning the sword this morning.
Oh, sure.
Since I don't think he really thought to do it the night before.
Oh shit, yeah.
So he's like cleaning the blood off of the sword. Kind of just staring at it, you know, blankly.
Yeah, I think Irene probably having gotten some more tea. Kind of pokes her head in. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I didn't sleep great last night. I'm fine. He's clean. The sword is clean at this point, and he's just still like cleaning it. Just
yeah, and I think that she'll come in and she'll like sit down next to you and hand you a cup of tea.
He'll set the sword down and he'll grab the cup, and again, it's just the slightest like shake to holding it.
Long way from cricket bats.
Yeah. I really should probably learn how to use a sword properly at some point. It doesn't quite feel like any sort of bat. You can kind of swing it like one, but I don't think I'm using it effectively. I mean, as effective as it could be, I guess, because that's what swords are for. They're meant to kill things with. Drinks his tea.
Yeah. Well, it is best when we don't have to reach that point.
Yeah, that's definitely preferred. You know, I get that sometimes the world is better off without some people, especially some of these folks we're dealing with who want to do God knows what. I mean, I guess enslave the world, take over the world, domination, but they're I mean, I'm not quite 100% sure what they feel they're gonna get out of it, power of some sort, or if even that's why they're doing it. But I don't want to kill people.
I think there would be something very wrong if you said that you wanted to kill people. There are many reasons why we may have to take a life, and so far a lot of it has been in self-defense, like last night, or in pursuit of preventing the world from ending. But I think it's only human to have to weigh that with the moral weight of killing.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't know how to feel about it, but I am glad that you're okay. I mean,
I'm glad you're okay too.
I'm glad we're all okay. That was a bit scary. But I'd do it again in a heartbeat if any of y'all were in danger like that again. But sure is different when it's not something that's looks like it's straight out of a spawn of hell. You know.
People are, well, they're people. I wish I could say it gets easier, but I don't think it does.
Yeah. That's one thing we found out on this whole trip. So some things do, I guess. Well, maybe not necessarily easier, but you get better at dealing with them. Could you imagine the things we've done in the last couple months when we first set out versus now?
Even now, imagine us back before New York or before Peru. Doing all this now.
It's gonna be one hell of a story.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you write about it.
It's about midday when both Salim and Ganymede arrive back. Salim comes inside to fetch you all. Because he's got the car. He's got the car, and Ganymede's packing up. Time to go. The car. Let's talk about the car. It's a...
Oh man, is this a Model T Ford?
Yeah, I put it on your sheet.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I don't remember that being there.
Yeah, it's a Ford Model T, 5-seater with a rooftop that can be lowered. There are no side windows. And the top speed is about 45 miles per hour.
Zeb looks at it and is like, man, I haven't gotten to drive one of these in a while. You're good with if I drive, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm getting here was enough for me.
Well, I mean, that's good enough. I don't know if you heard about, but like most people, they don't get out of their driveways driving where I'm from. They usually find a tree or something.
Is that how you drive?
No.
Oh. All right, I thought then if it was, maybe I would stay.
If this car's crashing while I'm driving it, it's usually, like 45 around the bend.
Okay.
Don't worry,
Now,
I got
aren't many bends in the desert pretty straight?
I figured.
So, where are we headed?
Zeb will sort of look around at the group.
Ganny will...
We decided where we were
Yeah,
going first.
Elwasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, she'll remind you.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Elwasta.
Yeah. Zebulon, make a spot hidden.
Oh boy. Oh, okay. Please don't let them. Let's go.
That's great.
Let's go.
That's wonderful. Movement catches your eye, like out of the corner of your eye, and you kind of like look around. There's not, the Egyptian museum is like on the water. There aren't a ton of buildings around. Or the ones that are a little more distant. But with an extreme, cats on roofs of the nearest buildings, standing perfectly still, watching you. Many cats.
That just kind of does gives them a thumbs up. just
Salim like follows.
Yeah, the rest of us are like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, but you can all see them now, and it's disturbing in that it's very not animal-like. There's a higher intelligence at play, it feels like, and you can like the way you always are kind of paranoid about cultists. It's the same feeling, but there are so many more.
There's just rows and rows of them up there, just looking down a court of cats. It's my new book coming out next summer. But yeah, Zeb just gives them a thumbs up. Yeah, well, I think we're going to Alwasta then. I think that was our planned first stop. Maybe take a wave at the pyramids as we pass by them.
Oh. Certainly. Alwasta should, how fast are you planning on driving?
Well, I think these Ford Model T these can max out around 45 miles an hour. How's the road down there?
Oh, I mean, it's the desert. It's kind of a road to El Wasta. It's a small town, right on the water.
Well, I'll probably keep it somewhere between 35 and 45, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Under 2 hours, I assume. But we should get going. Okay. So yeah, El Wasta is not that far away from Cairo, but is firmly outside of it. If you recall, Faraz Najjar told you that a woman named Nouri lives there, and she knows more about the cult practices going on in Egypt, and her son worked for the Carlisle expedition while they were here. So, yeah, you can all pile into the Ford Model T and take off. Yeah, driving in the desert is interesting. You definitely don't see many other vehicles. I think you see some trucks maybe headed into Cairo. But I mean the view is incredible as you're leaving the city. I mean, you can see the ruins on the other side of the river. Like some of them are like right there. Do you want to make a drive auto roll just for fun?
Hell yeah. Watch this be terrible. All right, let's go.
Woo! Hey, nice. Oh my god, I have a 75!
Yeah. So I have the skill called Drive Auto that I put a lot of points in.
Yeah.
And then I just forgot to use it for a long time.
It was brought up for the first time, I think. Was it England?
Yeah, and I think Charles decided to drive.
Yeah, Charles and Ganymede drove.
Yeah, Charles and Ganymede fucked off and decided to drive instead.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so El Wasta is very different from Cairo right away. It's very small. There are people around there, merchants, like people are going about their business, and it is right on the river. Salim, I'm assuming you update like why you're going here, who you're looking for. And he'll get right to it. He is a very, very good dragoman. So he kind of starts asking around as you're getting there, and someone make a luck check. I don't care who anyone who feels.
Who's got the most amount of luck right now?
Not me.
I've got 71,
Me?
surprisingly.
You do? I have
Yeah.
76.
Cool.
Nice. So after the first few there's like an hour that passes as he's like talking to people, and he's able to like get y'all lunch and stuff and set up, but he was right, it's like all Arabic here in Ava. Like obviously you can communicate a bit, but after the first hour he comes back and he says, so Nori is a very popular name, apparently. Just patience. Somebody roll me a d6 plus 2.
I'll do it.
Just for fun. It's
It's like the other Omar.
Yeah, it's just a popular name. So 4 hours later.
Yeah.
So it is sunset. He returns like, okay, I think I've figured it out. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me.
Right behind you, boss.
Good, good, good. Let's go over to... I have kind of a map. Where are my beautiful little tokens? There you are. Yes, we're all here. Lovely. As you approach a tiny hovel that's quite a ways out from the main part of the city, there is a man outside, a large man. His right arm and shoulder and the right side of his face have been gouged away. Like, it looks like something has literally, like, ripped part of him away. He sees you approaching, though, and stops what he's doing. Looks like he's, penning up animals for the night. Salim will greet him. Salim is Salim when he's much like cooler, like sounding when he's like, you know, doing his like duties. Like he has this kind of air of like chipperness with you.
Actually be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a man of the streets.
Yeah, he's like, I know what's up. I know what's up. The man doesn't really respond, kind of looks all of you over, but he turns back to the group of you and says, this is Ubaid, Nori's son.
I'll go over and introduce myself to him and just in Arabic just say, you know, my name's Ava. This is my group that I'm traveling with, and we'd like to meet your mother.
He says to you, Ava, for what purpose? And his speech, even in Arabic, is pretty slow and halting.
We'd like to talk to both of you. He was the one who went on the Carlisle expedition.
Yeah,
right?
he worked for them while they were here.
Right. Yeah. We would like to speak with you about your involvement with the Carlisle expedition.
As soon as you say Carlisle, I mean, you can see him, you know, his back kind of stiffens and he looks around. I mean, and you can see like the vista here is like pretty open, but he looks around and looks like up to the sky and then says, come inside.
Yeah, we'll go inside.
Yeah, he kind of like, he's almost like, and the two of you who don't speak Arabic, he like walks over to you and with the arm that has not been affected by whatever he's gone through, kind of like, it doesn't shove you, but is very clearly like, get in. When you get inside, it's a very tiny, it's just a little bigger than a shack. And there is a woman sitting on a cot. Let's see. I have a picture of Nori of El Wasta. She's very old. There are lines in her face that are deep. So, as Ubaid finally kind of closes the door behind all of you and is talking to his mother, she kind of looks up and all of you can see both of her hands and her jaw have been burned away. And I need you all to make a sanity check. Just for the amount of, like, obviously this was violently done. Good. Good. Okay.
We've seen a lot of shit.
You have, and in fact, her injuries in particular remind you of Faraz's. When Ubayd is explaining to her, she kind of groggily looks up at all of you. She can't really speak and she can't write anything down, but when her eyes look at all of yours, they grow big. There's like almost like excitement. And you only really hear gurgles, but she kind of lifts her arms and like gestures toward a corner of the hut. And like she's doing it so emphatically she almost like falls from the cot she's on, and Ubayd goes over to her, and Ava, you can hear him. He's just asking her, what's wrong? Why are you so excited? But she keeps trying to like gesture past him.
Okay. Yeah, where is she gesturing to?
In the corner, there's, amidst blankets, pots, other bric-a-brac, is a rush basket. Painted with a red symbol.
I'll go over to it.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything in it? It's just a basket.
You want to open it?
Yeah.
Like, take the top off?
Sure.
Within the basket is a slab of white stone several inches thick. It has irregular edges, making it look like it was apparently broken from a larger piece of worked stone. And on the surface that you can see in the basket, there's a symbol. Where's Ganymede's character sheet? I'm going to say she goes over with you. Because you know who has archaeology? Ganymede. Well, I deserve that. I refuse to use her rerolls. I'm not doing that. Okay, so she knows the basics and no more details on this. Looks like the Eye of Horus and yeah. Oh wait, I have a picture. Yes, I have a picture. I never remember to show y'all the pictures that I spent so much time uploading. And that, of course, is the Brotherhood's Ankh.
I will take the basket and the stone over to Nuri.
Mm-hmm. Now that she sees that you see it, she relaxes and she kind of leans back on the cot and closes her eyes. She's like totally like there's a sense of relief.
Yeah, okay. I guess that we were meant to see this, maybe have it, and she'll take out the piece and give it to Ganymede.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Heavy, yeah.
Yeah. She can take a look at it. What do you have, Ganymede? What's going on here? Where's your occult score? I should not roll. Ava.
Yes.
Give me, I don't know, occult sounds fine. I don't know if you have anything in it, but
I have 10 in occult. Imagine
imagine.
I'm gonna use a reroll just for funsies.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's so close, actually.
So annoying. It's okay. I mean, let's see.
Would it be cool if I spent luck on it? Is this a cool thing to spend luck on? It's only 11 luck.
I don't know. What I want to, I probably shouldn't have made anyone roll for this because I feel like you know what this is.
Okay.
That's on me. We learn every day. I don't know. Somebody give me an idea check. Somebody give me an int. Whee! Just for fun.
Oh, what the fuck? So dumb today. I'm failing so much today.
It's a cool kind of like almost pinkish looking stone with some symbols worked into it. I wonder what it could be.
I'm gonna go again.
There's a
Hard
cry,
success.
it's probably pretty warm out.
I had so many. I hard successed it.
Okay. Good. So.
And I will spend 2 points of luck to make it an extreme success.
Okay, yeah. Thank God. Like it says to roll here, and I'm like, do you really need to roll at this point? But yes, but no, whatever. So. Because you learned the ritual, of course. What you know of the ritual of the Eye of Light and Darkness that Mushian taught you, this kind of seems to fit part of that with the eye. Right, it's the Eye of Horus. It's supposed to be an eye that is a symbol of the place where you're placing it. It's supposed to be representative of that place. And Ganymede, because of course she would know this. I refuse to believe that she wouldn't. That's the pinkish cost you see. Facing color used only on the red pyramid at Dasha. I think this is the ward Roger Carlyle broke. Part of it.
What was her son's name again?
Ubaid.
Ubaid. I'll look at him and say, did you get this? Did you take this?
My mother did.
How was it that she got it?
One day, she said she felt she had to go to Dasher.
If you don't mind sharing with us what your involvement with the Carlisle expedition was.
No, I was a digger. Though I got the sense that the digging was just an excuse. My mother has always had a sense for things. She felt strongly that she needed to warn someone about the goings on with them. I I brought her to the man so that she could warn him.
Which man?
She was looking for two, but we only found one. A man named Warren. A Frenchman.
And who was the other that she was looking for?
Brady. Bodyguard.
So you warned Warren.
Well, she did. She said the souls of the expedition members were damned. They had damned themselves, but he wasn't yet. His soul wasn't yet. And she told him where to go for proof. I didn't know at the time what she had asked me to stop working for them, and I had by that point. But she wanted to warn these men, save them, and she told him where to go.
And, do you know if he did?
Yes. Medum is not far from here. She told him they would be there that night. I don't know how she knew. He went and he saw something. I know because eventually I found him wandering the desert around here. His mind had we took him in and cared for him for 2 years before he left. Sometime after that, well, we were repaid. And he kind of gestures to the right side of his face and his arm.
We've met someone else with a similar experience after encountering the Carlisle expedition. Do you know where he is now, Warren?
Most people end up back in the city. That's where I would assume he is. Though I assume that's how they found us, was by finding him. If you offend the Brotherhood, they let you know.
I will relay any information to the group, all of it, pretty much, to see if Irene or Zeb or Ganny have any questions.
Oh yeah, and Salim can help translate while you're talking.
Yeah.
What did Warren say he saw? And conveying that, Ubaid says, a massacre. Things coming out of the ground.
Was it near a full moon? Or new moon, do you remember?
It was dark. The moon was dark. They were right outside the collapsed pyramid at Meidum. He said he saw corpses and living people, fellow workers of mine, being dragged into the sand, and then the next thing he said, atop the pyramid, he said he saw some great elephant-like beast, but with 5 shaggy heads, lifting the bodies in its great paws and swallowing them. He called it a sphinx, though it doesn't look like one I've seen.
Zeb will sort of look again. Didn't Dr. Kafour mention something like that? Maybe not exactly described like that, but...
Oh, yes, he mentioned the pyramid at Meidum built by Sneferu to contain the sorcerer, to contain their body. But it collapsed, and a second, which was already under construction, was repurposed, and that pyramid is now known as the Bent Pyramid at Dasha. Dr. Kafour believed that Nefrenkar's corpse was removed from Meidum and placed within the Bent Pyramid, but that's never been proven, despite rumors of some hidden chamber there. And of course the Red Pyramid is quite close, also attributed to Sneferu. Where this is from, I suppose this is the thing that guarded Dashor, right? Against Nefrenkar rising from the dead, and then Roger Carlyle and his friends broke it.
The fact that he had his vision not at this Dasha pyramid, at the one at Meidum, that strikes me as a bit odd. Or if you were relocated to the Dasha pyramid and this thing happened where the dead was rising from the ground, wouldn't it happen there?
The way Warren described it was as, like, they were summoning it. That is what my mother would say, a ritual summoning.
Well, we are no strangers to rituals happening around the times that we arrive at locations.
I will say there has not been much activity near Maydoom since then. And the Brotherhood are quite active.
Do you mind asking him if he could describe sort of what kind of creature did that to him?
Yeah, he'll describe it, and translating it, it's pretty clear that it's the creature you have faced many times before, a hunting horror.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Irene like starts sketching it first and goes like, oh wait, we know what this is. Okay, we're good.
Gonna at some point gonna have to put this stone back then. Kind of remember like in Peru where we returned that, what was that, like that gold sort of inscription bar or whatever it was, back to that pyramid.
I don't know why I'm gonna roll for Ganymede again. I can't roll for shit. That's why I GM. It's
So you don't have the pressure of rolling.
Yeah. See? Don't want that pressure. So this is not based on that roll. Didn't Jack Brady say he had kept part of the ward, but that it was useless? I think those were his words.
Well, maybe it's not quite as useless as he thought. I can't understand why she would... I mean, Nori here would be so eager to give us part of it if it weren't important, or would have held onto it for quite so long.
Well, it does tell us what kind of symbol we're looking to make if we do the ritual here.
That's true. And it also gives us the location of where it might have been destroyed in terms of the actual building itself.
Yes.
I mean, if you could be any part of it, but if we see a very clear fracture with missing parts, now I know where we need to mend it.
And we know about the range the ward protects, so I would assume if it was meant to guard against this Nephrin Ka rising from the dead, the bent pyramid is the closest to the red pyramid. Perhaps we should stop by.
We might as well.
Yeah. We have time for that.
How many days until?
It's still 6 days, but it's basically nighttime right now.
Yes.
So you're going to have to stop for the night.
Cool.
I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to keep healing, you're going to have to stop for the night.
Yeah, we're gonna vibe.
Where are you gonna vibe?
Okay, so first thing in the morning, we can set out and take a look around.
I think that'd be probably wise of us, and we should keep an eye out for any activity.
Ubaid asks, do you need a place to stay?
We could use one if you have space.
He gestures around. This is what we have.
So we'll sort of look over, just checking. I imagine there's, is there anywhere we could stay in town? I wouldn't want to impose on them.
That's true.
Yeah, Salim says, not really.
Small town.
What is it super cold at night? What's
It's the desert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does that thing. There's no temperature regulation in the desert. It's
And I mean, similar.
very hot and it's very cold.
Yeah, similar to when y'all were in the outback.
right?
Those fluctuations.
Yeah. Well, we can sleep on the floor. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
I think, I think Zeb will take out some money and just hand it to Bade, say, for allowing us to stay here tonight. And I'd say it's a fairly generous amount.
Yeah, he nods. You must be hungry. I'll go and fetch something before everywhere in the market closes.
Yeah, I guess Ava will start to get everybody as settled in as she can.
Yeah. He asks, where do you intend to go from here? Are you? What is your purpose?
The big question.
That's yeah.
Stop.
Essentially, we are retracing the steps of the Carlisle expedition. They are part of something much larger happening in the world. And the rest of my party, they have a friend here.
We also kind of want to do the opposite of whatever the Carlisle expedition was doing. We want to put things back where they're supposed to be so that none of this happens. None of that vision stuff happens. Just to make that clear.
He smiles a bit ruefully. So do you think you will go to Dasher?
I think that's in our plans, yes.
And after that?
Well, it depends on where our leads take us.
Yeah, we have some ideas. We are hoping to catch up with another expedition that has recently come through the area.
Psychology check this guy.
No, it's only because Kienna was looking at me and I smiled. I'm smiling about something else. I'm smiling about something else. Yes, I just
He's
got a
still
very
asking a lot of questions.
I was reading this card that Allie gives me a card every time she goes away, and I was reading it.
I promise this had nothing to do with any look you were giving. This is just me being like, this guy's asking a lot of questions.
Okay. Whatever.
Very specific
Lauren was
questions.
making your face. I was watching him.
I was making that face to chat. That wasn't for you. That was for chat.
Yeah, no, this is regardless of any face you're making.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll let you roll. Tommy gets to roll.
Oh, come on. I'm using a reroll. I don't care if this guy's
You should accept your failures.
No.
Accept your failures.
I don't care if this guy's got nothing to
I
hide.
hope you crit fail it. I hope you crit fail it.
Why would you say that?
I'm manifesting.
Yeah, why would you,
Critical success.
Manifesting.
Critical success.
Lauren!
God.
Great. Fantastic.
I blame you for this, Lauren. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I mean, he's asking a lot of questions, but like,
Why not?
you asked him a lot of questions.
Yeah, and he answered them.
Yeah. He's
I'm answering his
probably
questions.
concerned about you because look what happened to him and his mother.
I got burnt.
Burnt. Burnt and bit.
Look, you stuffed us in so many basements.
There's no basement in this hovel.
There's no basement
Great.
here.
So you
There's
said,
always a
yeah,
metaphorical
catching
basement.
up with the Clive expedition.
I
He
did not say
nods.
the Clive expedition.
That-
I said another
yeah,
expedition.
Okay, another expedition.
A
Great.
different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, but basically at the end of the day, we're gonna follow this where it takes us to make sure we can stop and perhaps stop, keep the Brotherhood from doing whatever it is they're planning to do. We don't want what happened to you to happen to anyone else.
He nods. Holds up the money. Dinner. And he'll head out and head back toward the market area.
God, I want to just be able to trust everyone we meet, Lauren. But
You should.
you have made it so hard for me, the player, to trust everyone.
The
And by
last time
some
we
degree-
trusted an NPC in Egypt, we got fucked. So
That doesn't happen every time we trust NPCs in Egypt, though.
Yeah, Dr. Kafur, great guy. Hanan,
Hanan.
great gal.
Amazing. Gleam?
Mahmood,
Mahmood,
Angel.
awesome.
Cool. So, it's like, I don't know, like an hour or so passes. Nori does not really, I mean, she's obviously like still breathing, but she is kind of collapsed in exhaustion. And you are left alone, you and Salim. If there's anything you want to discuss or anything, otherwise we can kind of fast forward.
Well, I guess maybe we talk a little bit about our exact route here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so pyramids first.
which pyramids do we want to drop by Maydoom first, since it's close by? Just
Is it the
check
closest
out.
Someone
one?
pull up the map again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me take us over to the map. Take us over to the
I
map.
think they mentioned that Maydoom
Which
was
direction
close
are we
by.
Yeah,
going?
Maydoom is definitely closest to where you are. So if we upper left corner, you're kind of right across from Maydoom.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and then if you scroll to this bottom one, it's a little easier to see. Then going back up, you're gonna pass Dasher. Then past that is the ruins of Memphis, where the Clive expedition is, and then Giza.
Okay.
Cool. And wait, where's the Clive expedition?
At Memphis.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Basically, Maydoom, Dasher,
Memphis, Giza.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to spend a ton of time at Maydoom, but I think it's
Yeah.
worth like driving by and
Sure.
being like, does this look suspicious? Is
Yeah.
anything up here?
Is
I don't
anything
think we're gonna
going
spend a
on?
whole day there, but it's like just checking.
Is there
and
anyone
then-
here doing suspicious activities, cult-like activities?
Yeah. And I clearly Brotherhood people or
Mhm.
Are there
I
any
think-
cultists here? We'll call out.
Good idea.
yeah. I think it's worth at least a drive by and like an hour of just like what's here, actually see it in person
Mm-hmm.
before we go to Dasher.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Cool.
And at least also confirm like the pyramids are fallen and like not being used right now. Cool, okay.
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
And Basart it was Basart that had the vision, right?
That's what he witnessed at Maydoom. He says that's what he saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one
Okay.
of us will have a vision at Maydoom.
I don't think it
Who
was a
knows?
vision. I think it was happening.
yeah.
Yeah. So Maydoom and Dasher, then Memphis
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
kind of the plan right now.
And it brings us kind of closer to the city again and we can circle back if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Best laid plans. So Ubayd takes like a little over an hour to get back. But like has brought dinner. It's delicious. Salim is kind of carrying the like social parts. Ubayd is kind of shut down though. At this point, like all these terrible things that happened in he and his mother's past resurfacing. But you sleep and you rest, and Irene and Zeb, you get 2 hit points back.
We will leave early.
Yes.
Early.
Sunday, September 13th, 5 days before the new moon, which is 4 days before the night before the full moon for anyone tracking. Maydoom is the closest. You are able to cross an island. I don't know. There's a bridge down there, and I don't know when it was built. I was trying to find it, but I'm going to say it's there so that we don't need to drive all the way back up and then all the way back down. That's ridiculous. It's pulp. So, there are lots of remains here, though the most famous and pertinent is the collapsed pyramid, where Warren Bessart saw the Carlisle expedition's ritual and some enormous sphinx. But to sum up, it's going to yield little information.
No elephant footprints in the sand or anything like that.
Make a luck check. Make a luck check.
I'd love to.
Oh! Okay, so this is gonna take you no time at all. It's very clear all entrances to the pyramid are completely blocked by fallen stone and rubble. And you for once don't feel like you're being watched out here. And there are some other people, like any of these sites you're going to go to will probably have a few like tourists.
Yeah.
And like Egyptian like security basically. But nothing here strikes you. You see no evidence of any of that. And it was very long ago, but nothing strikes you about this place.
Any cats?
Always.
You always get kitty with you, man.
Zeb for the rest of his life is just gonna like always know there's cats watching.
You could just fulfill your pact.
Okay. Well, this is good. This is a confirmation that we don't have to worry about this location. Good for us.
Yeah, Ava goes out, she does a little scan, she comes back and says, I don't think there's anything here, and you believe her.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it
That
takes
a few photos.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
it just
yeah.
takes a little bit of time, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good.
Maybe we should get a picture of the group.
I think so. I think a group.
That would be really cute. Like a cute little touristy kind of picture.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're
Okay.
blending in.
Yeah, I imagine it's very much like we would look weird if we just like walked in, walked around, and left.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Do a selfie, you know.
Yeah. I love this. Oh my god.
No, just get Salim to take it. What are you talking about?
No, we gotta have Salim in the picture.
Well, then set
Yeah,
the
you
camera
can
on a
put it on
timer
the
on the
tripod.
car.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Right, somebody there will take. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a great and
I
it's
refuse
super
to
cute.
get into the.
It's a super cute
practicals.
picture. We all look great.
Yeah, you all.
Fresh faced early in the morning.
It's funny. The Carlisle expedition has a picture like this.
Yeah, I know. That's why we need one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, great. So heading up to Dasher, it's about another hour north of Maydoom. The Red Pyramid and the Bent Pyramid, both built on the orders of Sneferu, first pharaoh of the 4th dynasty. You see that red, that pinkish limestone, that the broken ward obviously resembles that stone. And the Bent Pyramid is so called because the angles of its walls change between the upper and lower sections, giving it a strangely curved and squat appearance. Do I have a picture of it? I have On the Road to Dasher. There you go. See that? That's a nice one. road again. No, I don't. That's okay. But yeah, it like goes up at one angle and kind of like switches halfway through. I think Ganymede can spout off a few facts, and probably Salim could too if he's taken other people out here before. Ganymede says, you know, the bent pyramid has couple unusual things besides the angle. It has two entrances. One to the north, which is usual. This one, I believe, reputedly leads to a funerary chamber for Sneferu, but they never found any mummy or furnishings there. And there's also an entrance to the west, which is not usual. And you can see as you're kind of like walking around with the other folks here, there are 4 Egyptian soldiers on the north entrance. You didn't really see that at Maydoom. Like, they're dedicated. But they're not preventing people from going into the north entrance. They're just on watch. Salim says, I could go talk to them if you want to look around inside the north entrance there. Looks like they mostly let people look in but not go in. But you know, the soldiers I know really enjoy cigarettes. The way to a soldier's heart, cigarettes.
Yeah, we'll go over there. That sounds like a great plan.
Okay. Yes, and he'll lead you toward the north entrance. And he starts chatting. And who smokes? Salim doesn't have cigarettes. Who smokes?
Who smokes?
Oh God.
Does anyone smoke in that group?
I don't. Yeah.
Did my dad? Charlie smoked. Did my dad smoke? Do you remember?
I think he smoked a pipe.
Fuck.
But Salim like gets up there and then like.
Dude,
Anyone here have a useful item in there?
I do. Wait, hold up. I have a useful item. This is one of Charlie's cigarette packs.
Oh.
Irene always carries one on her.
It's a little crumpled at this
I
point.
Yeah, it's a little fucked up.
Cute. Well, because Charlie goes through cigarettes but never remembers to buy more.
Yeah, so Irene has just a pack in her bag.
Yeah.
And I think also a lighter because Charlie won't always remember his lighter. You know when you have 2 people, one of them is the person with the bag and one of them the person without the bag?
Yeah.
Irene's the person with the bag.
That's lovely.
Okay, cool. Use my useful item. Finally, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. With that, somebody make me a charm or persuade and you get a bonus die with the useful item.
My persuade
55.
is me too. My persuade is 55.
We both know that Irene has fuck all of those, so
I'll roll, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I had a bonus die, right?
Yeah. So you roll and then you click bonus/penalty.
You got this. 62.
Do you want to reroll?
Do it! Do it!
I'm getting low on those rerolls, chat. That's
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
yeah.
hard
19.
success. That is going to get you something extra. So Salim is like talking back and forth with the guards, and the cigarettes, when he holds out his hand for the cigarettes, Irene, and you give them to him, they're like, you know, smelling them. I think that's a thing people do. Like looking at the quality, and they are impressed. And
oh yeah, of course.
yes,
Charlie cigarettes.
Charlie cigarettes. But like the conversation, and like if Ava chimes in with Arabic, they're also impressed. So
Yeah.
actually one of them leans forward and says, the north entrance is a waste of time, but since you've been so generous, the west entrance might prove more of a unique experience for your group.
I'll thank them profusely in Arabic. And we'll go around to the other entrance. Ooh, spicy.
The west door you see is unguarded. There's a wooden barricade, but it's not very sturdy. And like Zeb just like giving it kind of a tug.
Oh, well, yeah, a little tug.
You know? Inside. There's a passage that leads to what looks like a funerary chamber, roughly in the center of this pile of stone. There are no artifacts, but there are two remarkably thick and startlingly white alabaster columns at the rear of this room. And there are carvings on them, hieroglyphs. Which I don't believe any of you can read, but they exist. They're there.
But we'll snap photos.
Mm-hmm.
The potential, I don't I don't know if photo taking does harm to things in here.
I mean, this
Potentially
place
things
is
are painted-
unguarded.
Do what you want.
But you know, I think a couple of flashes and saving the world is worth it. Anything in particular we note about in here? Interesting spaces we could crawl into?
Any sounds? Any... I'm really good listening.
Are there cultists around?
Not that you see. There's just those two white columns.
Okay.
I mean, it is like, obviously, like, they probably do this like with bribes. It's like a less
It's just more
touristy
interesting.
place that they'll let you go in for the right price.
Does any of it look familiar from any of the reading that Ganny and I did in the museum? Like, was this even mentioned at all? These pillars?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And it's just hieroglyphs on it. There's no like additional drawings of like the pharaoh with the slaves in front of them.
No.
Is there the symbol that Nuri gave us anywhere on here?
Nope.
Okay. And it's just made out of like a white stone.
Yeah, very white alabaster. Oh wait, I can actually drag y'all over to the map of Dasher.
Is there a library in here?
Is
Or
there a
car to be
convenient
driven?
library?
Convenient library that just happens to be here.
Imagine.
Let me zoom out so everyone
Ooh,
can.
map.
Yeah.
Cool.
Map, 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 map.
Very cool.
So these two pyramids are this very close together.
They're very close. I don't know that they're this close, but they're very close together.
Okay. If there's nothing really else that I notice, I'll just kind of turn to the others and just say, well, maybe we should move on.
Stop measuring.
Remind me what the space is in this entrance. Like, so it's the 2 columns. How much, like, is it in the middle of this? Like, how much of a room is there in here? I
They're
guess
like right at the rear of the room.
Okay.
I mean, it's like decent. It's spacious. If it was a funerary chamber, it's spacious. Yeah. Do you want to do anything? Do you want to make any check or?
Yeah, I'd love to just perceive.
Sure.
Can I go just like run my hands along the walls, just like vibing, like all the way around the outside?
The outside of the pyramid, or?
No, the inside of this room. To see if there's like any, like were there any doors that were caved in or closed up?
Yeah. You can make let's have another spot hidden. So we got a regular success from Irene.
Okay.
Passageway.
Okay. A spot.
Yeah, I mean, nothing particular stands out to you. And I think it's partly because as you're standing here, the longer you stand here, there is an overwhelming dread that starts to build up.
Presumably why they closed it off. Yeah, I think Ava will kind of I don't know. I don't think she's like she doesn't recognize this as like not a natural feeling. I think she kind of like looks at the group and she's just kind of like, I'm not feeling so well. I'm actually gonna step out for a bit of air. And she's gonna just like go to step back outside of this room.
Ganny is still kind of looking around.
Yeah, have we felt anything like this before at some of the
Ooh, that's a good question.
Just bad fucking vibes.
So I'm trying to think back.
In the volcano?
Yeah.
And in front of the statue in the underground city.
Which pyramid are we in again right now?
The bent pyramid.
Okay, cool.
This is the one that supposedly houses
the Black Pharaoh.
Ka, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the red pyramid was the one built to protect, I guess.
Yeah, protect Asher in case he ever...
In case he rose again.
I think there's definitely something wrong here. I feel like we've definitely felt this before. I don't think we should stay here for now until we know what we're going to do about it. But there's definitely something here. It may be this Black Pharaoh, it may be something else, but there's definitely something not good here.
I have a question as we're wrapping up this session, and it's for Summer.
Yeah, what's up?
Did Charles ever share what he read in Life as a God?
Oh my God.
The very first book you got.
Yeah. Did he ever share?
Yeah, did he ever tell anybody what it said?
I can't imagine that he wouldn't have at least mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him specifically ever saying it. Damn, did he?
I feel like there was a conversation between him and Ganymede about the book way back in fucking New York.
Yeah, there might have
But
been.
Don't
I can't
remember
imagine
if...
I don't know if he would have said it verbatim.
Yeah.
But I think that he would have at least mentioned his readings, like,
Yeah.
as he's going through all of these books.
Well, then Ganymede kind of pulls herself together. She's looked really out of it in here, but she turns to you, Irene and Zeb. Let's go. We're losing daylight already. And I will just leave this with the audience for now. Excerpt from Life as a God. The external angles were magnificent and most strange. By their hideousness I was enraptured and enthralled, and I thought myself of the daylight fools who had judged the housing of this room so mistaken. I laughed for the glory they missed. Through the twisted doors to the jeweled throne of darkness, I came with all reverence and humility to gaze upon scenes of celestial majesty and rebirth. When the 6 lights were lit and the great words said, then he came in all the grace and splendors of the higher planes, and I longed to sever my veins so that my life might flow into his being and make part of me a god. That's where we'll end today's episode, because we're over time. Wow, look, we went to little sightseeing, little sightseeing, always fun to
Tourism
do.
action.
Yeah, I'm sure, you met some new NPCs. Zeb got to drive. I'm sure there will be no more driving anytime soon.
We still gotta get to Memphis.
That's true. You do indeed. Well, let's go around to everybody. Check in. Let's start with Tommy.
Hello. Oh man. Oh. I want. Man. I wanna believe in Ubaid, but I'm just worried. This is what you've done to me, Lauren. This is your fault. You've done this to me, and it's just gonna be eternal now. But that was great. It was great to see more of Egypt finally.
Yeah.
Really great to do some sightseeing, and super excited to get to Memphis next week and meet the Clive expedition, I imagine, at some point. Because we've been dancing around that bush for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at Imperator Penguin on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG stuff and occasionally stream. Follow it there. My schedule's, as I said last week, is a bit up in the air right now. So if I'm going to do something, I will mention it there. Otherwise, go follow these amazing people.
Excellent. Summer.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Such posy vibes. So good. I am Summer. You can find me on Twitter at Just a Summer Job. You can find me on Twitch at It's Just a Summer Job. I stream a lot. So you can find me there. You can find me here every Saturday with these lovely people. You can find me bi-weekly on Dylan's channel and Narcissus, playing some From Dust Before It's Settled, our Ironsworn campaign. And then you can find me back there on Mondays. That's really it right now. So go listen to Missing Annie Lee. It's an award-winning podcast.
Award-winning.
It's award-winning.
Let's go over to Kienna.
Love to be in a place with just the worst vibes possible.
Bad vibes. Bad vibes.
Just the worst vibes that could exist.
Yeah.
For good reason,
Yeah.
Bad cult shit. yeah, you can find me over on Twitter at Kienna S. Best way to figure I'm doing it when I'm not here in the channel, mostly just here though. Also over on Dylan's channel, Analysis for From Dust, every other week. Only a couple things I will plug is, of course, Archon, Cyberpunk setting. Go check that out. And also, the Die tabletop RPG is out, based on the award-winning comic. And myself and my co-creator of the TTRPG Safety Toolkit, Lauren Bryant Monk, other Lauren, we are the safety consultants on the game. So we were able to help them out. It was really great. So please go check that out. They have funded and barreled past their first set of stretch goals, and their second set includes a pay raise for the contractors. So go check out a cool game and also maybe help me get paid more. It's great. Money's great. What about you, Lauren?
Hey everyone, I'm Lauren. I'm sometimes called that salty ginger around the internet. I'll be back here next week. Allie will be back, and we will be heading probably to Memphis, unless she's like, hey, let me look around here real quick, and then I will let her. But yeah, just I love ending on just like bad vibes. If you ever miss an episode, we post them on YouTube on Wednesday mornings Pacific, so you can catch up there. You can follow us on Twitter if there are any updates, but we'll be back next Saturday. Thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice and Vian, Grinding Coffee Co. And we'll go rate a friend, and we'll see you next week. Wave bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.